that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody...
You wanted him to be an immigrant. That's what you wanted. You either wanted him to be a or a Mexican immigrant. Y'all was banking on it. Y'all was like, yes, if he could have just been a Mexican, if he could have just been black, we could have get this race war on and popping. Yeah. No race war for you. It was a 22-year-old white kid whose daddy was a Republican pastor and the whole family were Trump supporters.
For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered.
Take a look at FBI Director Kash Patel's face as my man blatantly stands there and says that he prayed for 33 hours, hoping that this guy was from a different place, a different country. He wasn't one of their lot, but it turned out to be one of his lot. Normal people would spend their time praying for the guy, praying for his wife and kids, hoping that they get through this. But not this guy. This guy spent 33 hours hoping and praying that it wasn't somebody from his area, his state, or even his country, hoping that it's somebody from Iran or Iraq, so that they can start beating the drums of war, whether it's a civil war or a war in a different country. What can you say? America, baby.
I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for, just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here.
We got him? He's Muslim, right? Black? Latino? At least he's an immigrant. What do you mean he's from Utah? At least he's trans? Guys. Okay, does he use pronouns? What do you mean everybody uses pronouns? At least he's a radical leftist? He's not a leftist? He's not even a Democrat? Guys, is this the same exact person as last time? A different one? How am I supposed to spin this? What do you want me to do? Lord, you know I prayed that it wouldn't be one of ours. Okay, give me a second to think. What would the president do? What would the president do? What would the president do? Okay, I think I got it, you guys. We're gonna blame the mental health crisis, and then we're gonna gut all the funding to all of the social programs.
I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for, just because I thought it would make it easier.
What an interesting thing to say. I mean, of all the things to pray for, that's what you prayed for? That it was someone from another state? And what you're not saying out loud is you wish it had been someone from a Democrat state, or that it had been someone from another country because it would have fit your narrative about immigrants. But your prayers didn't work, which is ironic because we've been saying all along that thoughts and prayers do not work across the board when it comes to gun violence. You can literally see him struggling with accepting that this crime was committed by a young white man. And it's not because it was committed by a young white man, it's because it wasn't committed by someone from another community. Now he doesn't get to spin his narrative and spew his hatred, which they've been doing for the last 48 hours.
I shouldn't laugh, but when did that ever stop me? So I've just watched Spencer Cox do an interview where he was saying, oh, I was praying for 33 hours to God that it wasn't one of us, that it was somebody from another country. Oh, I was praying to God. Well, your God wasn't listening to you, was he, mate? No, because not only was it a white man, it really was one of you little Republican MAGA lot. And while he's saying this, while he's saying with his full chest, this white man, this governor, I was praying for 33 hours hours with all my might, glory to the Lord, that it was a brown fella. Kash Patel's behind him. Look at Kash Patel's face. He was like this. Like he was trying to be so subtle, but go back and watch the interview and zoom in on his face, because I did, and he was like, it was that moment that he realized that he lived in the house and not the field. If you know, you know. But anyway, I just found it really, really entertaining that, yeah, Cox was there like, oh, please, 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 don't let it be one of us. No, 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 no. But it was. And then this coconut is standing there like, shit, I'm brown. They're going to come for me. Do you think that he needs saving? Like Kash Patel, blink twice if you need us to save you from the racists.
Wow, Black Americans are dragging and confronting the Utah governor after he said the quiet part out loud. You know those moments when a politician sleeps and finally says what they really think? Yeah, this was one of those moments. And guess what? The internet didn't let it slide. Today we are breaking down what he said, why it's sparking so much anger, and how people, especially Black Americans, are pushing back hard. Back up, because this is one of those conversations where the mask comes all the way off. Let's get into it.
From this moment on, I am dedicating my life to building a timeline travel machine. Yes, you can come with me. A white man shot another white man in one of the most white states in America, a red state in America. And today, 4 HBCUs are on lockdown after receiving threats. What the fuck did we do? What the fuck did... Were any of us even at the Kirk event? This is y'all's issue. It's always been y'all's issue. I haven't seen too many of us at these schools emptying magazines. But then you send the threats to the HBC? That's not even political. Like, what do you... If you drive full speed in the back of somebody else's car, do you get out and say, these fucking niggers? Like, what? Wait, we're not involved in this. If you want to lie to yourself and spin this to the Democrats, like, okay, that's still fucking stupid, but to just... We were chilling. We focus on Thug and Gunna. Fuck. Okay. All right. So like I said, I will be dedicating the rest of my life to constructing a timeline hopping machine, and you can come with me. I can't do this anymore. I can't.
Did y'all see that the governor said that he was praying for 33 hours that it wasn't one of us? I don't know what of us means for him, but let's see.
I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country.
Immigrant?
Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for.
And he prayed for that. Out of everything, that's what he prayed for it to be somebody that was maybe an immigrant, maybe somebody that was black, but not a white person to be the shooter. That's crazy. And it just so happened the shooter's from Utah. Another thing that they don't want. I just feel like I'm dreaming of everything that's happening. Like, it just seems so not real, but it's real. But what's also so sad is that a lot of people are like still like standing on their toes, and most of them being Latinos too. It's just crazy. If this doesn't wake you up, what he just said, I mean, I really don't know what would wake people up at this point, because that's just insane. One of us.
No, but for real, I need Christians to explain to me what the governor of Utah meant when he said, I was praying to God that it was not one of us. Look, I grew up in a Pentecostal church. My grandfather was a bishop. My brother's a preacher. My other grandfather's a preacher. I got cousins, preachers. I've heard a lot of sermons in my life. I've heard a lot of prayers. I was in church every day from 0 to 21. I love my church family. I don't go to church anymore, but I love my church family. I love my people. Pentecostal Church of God in Christ. I've never heard a person say what that governor of Utah said. I prayed to God that it was not one of us. I prayed that it was someone from a different state who had driven into our state, or someone from a different country. What? So this is for Christians. People who call themselves Christian. What did that man mean by that? Was he hoping that it was a non-white person? Because that's how I heard it. I heard it as being a non-white person first, and then a non-American second, presumably someone from a different country, which is so odd coming from Mormon territory, because Mormons go into South America, other countries, but South American and Central American countries that are Latino people, and work to convert them to Mormonism. What did he mean by that? That was such an odd statement. And look, I don't know that governor, and I saw he was emotional up there. And it seems like he was most emotional because it was a white guy that killed that other guy. So somebody help me understand that. Some Christians out there, help me understand that.
So MSNBC just proved they're really Fox News light. They fired a man for telling the truth, but instead they keep the propaganda going. So yesterday, MSNBC went and fired Matthew Dowd. Why? Because they said the comments that Dowd made about Charlie Kirk's death were unacceptable. Now let's pause. When does MSNBC get to play the morality police? Oh, I forgot. It's when their billionaire owners tell them to. See, I told you before, liberal and conservative media aren't that much different when you go and start peeling back that logo. They both got the same boss, big money, the oligarchs. And what's the job of big money media? To keep you entertained, distracted, and paralyzed with fear. Now, the only words that Matthew Dowd says are what you see above. That's what he said. And what he said wasn't untrue. MSNBC clutched their pearls like they were members of the congregation. Meanwhile, Fox News is on TV every night pushing as much propaganda as possible, and that's just normalized in America. And I need y'all to remember, this ain't the first time MSNBC done cut up on some mess. Remember Melissa Harris Perry? Melissa used to come on Saturday mornings teaching history, race, economics. Literally was a master class every week. I would make sure I never missed her show. And what did MSNBC do? They ran her right out the door. They pushed Rachel Maddow out to just once a week on MSNBC. So it's no surprise to me that MSNBC tossed Dowd too, because they always want to look like they're middle of the road for everyone and everything. Like I said, Fox News light. Don't forget what I told you. Mainstream media is not here for the truth. They're here to push the agenda of the oligarchy and the rich and powerful. So when you turn on that TV, remember these folks don't work for you. They work for the billionaires. And billionaires don't fire people for being insensitive. They fire people for messing with their money.
So here is what went down. The Utah governor made comments that a lot of people feel exposed the truth about how he and maybe even others in power really see race, politics, and power. He said the part that's usually kept quiet, the stuff politicians try to cover with smiles and nice words. But this time, he just said it out loud. Oh my God, this is crazy. And when that mask slips, people hear you loud and clear. Black Americans were not about to just let this one slide. Black folks on Twitter, TikTok, everywhere, you name it, started dragging him, calling him out, holding up receipts, and confronting the reality of what his word really mean. Because when you speak carelessly about race, about identity, about who belongs and who doesn't, people are going to check you. I'm telling you, people are going to check you. And honestly, the dragging was deserved. Yeah, the dragging was deserved because words from readers carry weight, and when you show your true colors, folks are going to make sure everyone sees them. Yeah, they're gonna make sure everyone sees them. This is not just about one comment or one governor. It's about a bigger pattern. Yeah, it's about a bigger pattern. Politicians sometimes say mistakes, but really those mistakes show what they actually believe. Yeah, this is the truth. And for Black Americans, that's not new. History is full of quiet parts being said out loud, and it always hurts, but it also always reveals the truth. So moments like these are wake-up calls. They show us we can't just listen to the polished speeches. We have to pay attention to the slips, the things they say when they think no one is watching too closely. One thing that stands out here is the power of social media. Oh, this social media is something else. A comment that maybe in the past would have been swept under the rug, now it's viral in minutes. Black Americans didn't just react, they confronted. They turned this into a national conversation. And honestly, that's the beauty of this moment. Yeah, that's the beauty of this moment. It shows that leaders can't just hide behind press releases anymore. If you say something out of line, the people are going to check you instantly. Yeah, people are going to check you instantly. So yeah, Black Americans dragged and confronted the Utah governor for saying the quiet part out loud, and they were right to do it. This moment is bigger than one man. Yeah, this is bigger than one man. It's about accountability, it's about truth, and it's about not letting powerful people get away with showing disrespect, even when they think no one is paying attention. Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think about this speech? Was this just a slip up? Or did the governor expose what he really feels deep down? Drop your thoughts in the comment. I will be checking them out. And also don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so more people can join the conversation. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the love and support. I will see you in the next episode. Bye.